Hi there, Steve McGee reporting back from Parliament again, our third sitting week for the year 2026, and in the final day of the sitting week, just before 4 o'clock, we're still debating some legislation and we'll go through to about 5:30 tonight. It's been an interesting week. The legislation that's been debated this week was, we did a crimes amendment bill, which was removing the provision for the DPP to authorise cases, so before a case could be prosecuted. So that was passed on Tuesday. But other bills that we've done this week is free TAFE, and it's being debated at the moment, and I am due to go back into the chamber to put in a contribution if I get in time. But it's about free TAFE, and it happens to be the 7th birthday of free TAFE in this state, and I'm pleased to say that the Allan Labor government is so committed to TAFE, hence the reason why we're moving this bill and debating this bill to make sure that it's secured for the future. And TAFE's so important for many of our community members, not just the young, but also anyone that's going back to TAFE to get further qualifications, the older generation that want to be qualified in different things. It's amazing. I think there's about over 70 free TAFE courses, and the take-up rate has been enormous across the state. So really important, free TAFE, and happy 7th birthday. The other one is Electoral Matters Amendment Bill was also debated, about a few changes in regard to elections and the upcoming election in November. So some changes there through that bill. I did a member's statement on paramedic assaults, and you would have read recent stories about an assault down Mornington Way, and unfortunately a bit of a loophole in that, and I did a member's statement on that. And just a message out there to any community member, not only in Melton but across Victoria, and people might remember I did represent paramedics for 23 years and was a paramedic myself, and there is no space for anyone to even contemplate the idea of assaulting emergency service workers, and in particular paramedics, because they're out there responding to try and save lives. So any coward that thinks that they can get away with assaulting a paramedic, have a think again, and get a backbone. Don't target them as a simple target, and it's just unacceptable, and the law will be changed, and people that do assault emergency service workers will get jail terms. And so anyway, I know the union were here today discussing that with the Attorney General. So it's also International Women's Day on Sunday, the 8th of March, and I know there's been a lot of International Women's Day events. There has been today here in Parliament, fantastic events, and our hats go off to all the women in our communities, mothers, daughters, sisters, nieces, cousins, you name them. They're fantastic contributors to our community and fantastic leaders to our community. And I'm pleased to say our cabinet, the government's cabinet, has more than 50% women in cabinet. And of course, our party and our government has 50% women in the government, which is just fantastic. Celebrate International Women's Day on Sunday, and there's been a lot of events here in Parliament this week. Also, Festival of Football. Football Victoria have been here for 3 days. Thanks to Anthony Cianfoni and John Pisciuto, who hosted those events. Terrific to see all the different local clubs come in, and of course, Michelle Wilkinson, the president from Phoenix Football Club in Melton, was here, and Marie from the committee of Phoenix was here today. Michelle was in again yesterday. It was great to see them here representing their local club, but also the work that they do within the local club. And if we don't have, people volunteering their time to run these clubs for our younger generation to enjoy sport, and it's not only for younger generation, but to enjoy sport, again, our hats go off to all the volunteers that are involved in running our sporting clubs. And this week it was the Festival of Football, and it was great to see everyone in here. The other big events that were here, yesterday we had Lead West, that's 5 councils from the western suburbs doing their advocacy pitch to MPs in regard to what they're seeking from the government heading into the election, or from both sides of politics. I suppose they've got to do their pitch to both sides, but of course we're in government, and hopefully we'll stay in government, and they're seeking certain things within each of those local government areas. But 5 councils from the West, the mayors were here, CEOs were here, councillors were here. It was a good event yesterday, and catching up with the local Western MPs. And today, an amazing event, Blue Light Victoria, and people will remember Blue Light as the Blue Light Discos. Yes, that's where it started, 50th anniversary, and celebrating that and the great work that they've done. They've expanded from just running discos now. It's more about early intervention and prevention, keeping kids on the straight and narrow, one-on-ones with some kids, working with a lot of schools. And the people that volunteer in regard to Blue Light Victoria are some of our emergency service workers again, and community members doing one-on-ones with kids, supporting those kids through different programs. And we had 3 lived experience kids today come in and tell their story, and they were absolutely inspiring and amazing. And my thanks go out to all of the emergency service workers and the community members that volunteer their time to support these kids right across Victoria, in particular Vic Pole. And it was great to see the Chief Commissioner, Mike Bush, and he made a fantastic speech. The Minister for Police, Anthony Carbines. This is a great program. We need to let it continue. As I say, need to let it continue. So some more funding is required for Blue Light. But it is a fantastic program, and they've helped many thousands of kids across Victoria in regard to some issues that they may have, keeping them on the straight and narrow, keeping them at school, assisting them with their improvements at school and things like that. Terrific program, and full credit to Blue Light Victoria, over 50 years of great community service, and we want to see them keep going. So well done to them. So it's a big week, just about to go back into the chamber, back in Melton tomorrow, and in Melton next week. And of course, it's a long weekend coming up. Hopefully people will stay safe, be careful on the roads, abide by the road rules and the speed limits, make sure you wear your seat belts, and enjoy the weekend with your family. Remember, it's Grand Prix weekend, football starting also, plenty of things happening. Matildas tonight, mighty Melbourne Storm, go the Storm, beat Parramatta tonight. Plenty of things happening. Great racing carnival. So get out there, enjoy yourself with your family and friends, and we'll catch up with people back in Melton. Thanks.